So imagine this. You're excited, you bought your team's shirt, arranged to meet friends in Madrid, in the city centre, and you're ready to watch Spain play in the World Cup on a giant outdoor screen alongside thousands of fellow fans. But then, a few hours before kickoff, the event is cancelled. Not because of security concerns or a technical problem, but because it's simply too hot. This is Listen Global English. This is the podcast that helps you improve your English while exploring some of the world's biggest stories. And today we're asking, has extreme heat become the new normal? So the story goes like this. Spanish football fans hoping to watch Spain's World Cup match against Saudi Arabia in central Madrid. They were left disappointed after authorities cancelled a major public screening because of extreme heat. The match had been scheduled to be shown on a giant screen in one of Madrid's most famous public squares. But Madrid City Council and the Royal Spanish Football Association, known as the RFEF, they decided to cancel the event after Spain's National Weather Agency issued an orange heat warning. Temperatures in Madrid were forecast to reach 40 degrees Celsius. Officials said the decision was taken to protect the health of supporters, event staff, and emergency personnel, and any other workers involved. So instead, football fans were encouraged to watch the match indoors in air-conditioned environments. This cancellation comes as much of Spain experiences unusually high temperatures for June. I'm reading here that a mass of hot air moving north from Africa has affected large areas of the Iberian Peninsula, pushing temperatures to dangerous levels. In fact, 13 of Spain's 17 regions have been placed under these orange heat alerts, while the Basque Country has been placed on red alert. That's the highest warning level. Authorities are urging residents and tourists to take precautions during the heat wave. A heat wave is a prolonged period of unusually hot weather. For example, you might hear Europe experienced several severe heat waves during the last decade. And the forecast is a prediction about future weather or events. The weather forecast predicts temperatures above 38 degrees tomorrow, for instance. Now, when we talk about an alert or a warning, that's an official announcement informing people about possible danger. You could read the government issued a flood warning or authorities placed the region on red alert. These are warnings or alerts. When we talk about prolonged exposure, well, exposure means being in contact with something. And prolonged exposure means being exposed for a long period of time. To give you an idea, prolonged exposure to extreme heat can be dangerous. Now, vulnerable people, these are individuals who are more likely to suffer harm. Elderly people, young children, pregnant women, or people with health conditions. These are what we call vulnerable people. And many countries, they use color-coded systems to warn the public about this dangerous weather. As an example, a yellow alert generally means to be aware. Conditions may become dangerous. An orange alert means dangerous weather expected. Precautions should be taken. Should is a good idea, it's advice. Precautions should be taken. And a red alert, this means extremely dangerous conditions with significant risks to health and safety. Now, climate scientists have repeatedly warned extreme heat events are becoming more frequent and more intense in many parts of the world. According to international climate agencies, Europe is warming faster than many other regions around the world. Southern European countries such as Spain, Italy, Greece and Portugal, they've experienced increasingly severe heat waves in recent years. Some relevant phrasal verbs here: to call off. This means to cancel something. As an example, officials called off the public screening because of the heat. When they talk about cooling down, to cool down just means to become less hot or to reduce body temperature. Authorities advised residents to stay indoors and cool down. To look after means to take care of someone. People were asked to look after elderly relatives during the heat wave. Some idioms and expressions you hear around this subject, and they're in this article that I'm reading now: to beat the heat. This expression means to avoid suffering from hot weather, excessively hot weather. Many people stayed indoors to beat the heat. Scorching hot is an expression. It means, well, it describes extremely high temperatures. Madrid experienced scorching hot conditions over the weekend, for instance. You might hear when the mercury rises. The word mercury traditionally refers to the liquid inside old thermometers. When the mercury rises means temperatures increase. Health risks increase when the mercury rises above 40 degrees, for instance. Now, there are different perspectives here. Supporters of the cancellation, they say many health experts believe cancelling the event was the responsible decision. They argue large crowds increase health risks during extreme heat. Heat exhaustion and heat stroke can develop quickly, and emergency services should not face unnecessary pressure. Supporters say public safety must always come first. Now, the critics here, they are saying some fans expressed disappointment, arguing that additional shade and maybe water stations could have been provided. Could have. It was possible, but it didn't happen. They could have been provided. Spectators should have been allowed to decide for themselves. Should have. A good idea. That didn't happen. Spectators should have been allowed to decide for themselves. The decision was made for them. And they say outdoor sporting events frequently take place in hot countries. Others, other critics of this cancellation, they worry that increasingly frequent cancellations may become common if temperatures continue to rise the way they are. So you heard a few modal verbs there for advice and obligation. Should. We use should to give advice. You should drink plenty of water during a heat wave. It's a good idea. It's a good piece of advice. You should. Visitors should avoid outdoor exercise during the hottest hours. When we use must, this is when we need strong obligation. Authorities say public safety must come first. Doctors use must a lot. You must exercise. You mustn't smoke. Shouldn't is the opposite of should. It's a negative. You shouldn't stay in direct sunlight for long periods. And mustn't, people mustn't ignore symptoms of heat exhaustion, for example. You'll hear lots of expressions when we discuss the weather. Extreme weather, record-breaking temperatures, rising temperatures, climate change, etc., etc. So I suppose the discussion here centres around a few things. Was cancelling the screening the right decision? Should governments cancel outdoor events during extreme heat? How do people in your country cope with heat waves? And could climate change significantly affect major sporting events in the future? A few final thoughts. The cancellation of Spain's World Cup fan event highlights a growing challenge facing societies around the world. As temperatures rise and extreme weather events become more common, and they are, governments, sports organisations and individuals may need to rethink how they adapt. One thing seems increasingly clear. The climate is changing, and many aspects of everyday life, including sport, may need to change with it. So thanks for listening to Listen Global English. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please follow, share the podcast. And until next time, keep listening, keep learning, and keep moving your English forward. Bye-bye for now.